Om Vajra Sattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajra Sattva Tenopa Trishta Dridru Me Bhava Suto Kayo Me Bhava Me Bhava Anurakto Me Bhava Sarva Siddhi Me Prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsa Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 ho Bhagava Sarva Tathagata Vajra Mame Munsa Vajra Bhav Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Eho Shude Shude Soha Yamo Shude Shude Soha Ram Ho Shude Shude Soha Lamo Shude Shude Soha Bamo Shude Soha Eyara Lamba Shude Shude Soha Om Muni Muni Shakya Munye Soha Om Ye Dharma Hetun Prabhava Hetun Teshan Tathagato Yavadata Teshan Chayo Niroda Vadimaha Shramanaye Soha On Chönam Tamche Gyule Chung Te Gyu Deshin Shekpe Sung Gyula Gokpa Kaimba Gechon Chembo Teke Sung Gechon Chembo Chingelo Gechon Chembo Ngodrutsol Gechon Chembo Trashisho. Facciamo il Guru Yoga di Tara Chittamani, pagina 26. Visualizziamo Guru Buddha con Aryatara al suo cuore, al nostro capo. We visualize Guru Buddha with Aryatara at his heart, at our crown, as we recite the Guru Yoga of Tara Chittamani, page number 26. Dalu tame chivora pede te tuche te chen gyayon dromada yerme trinche tsawe lama ni kudo karma tsembe langso de chaye cheche dorje pekarda yembe tribu dhanche pemakar zimbe chuge nyende damage Chogu sumso serdo penshetse dorje kilru guru nashu tukra lape lamo markedo Chaye cheche yunpe utapar kuncho sumso chagye tugrazi darda rinchegi yenkya yungu vukuru vishupe tukara tamye jangu vaser par semba sumgi dani chingyurupe nengar oma honda soha tsen nanto yeshe rana riksese tuge vege kamne malupa chendra timbe kundu dani gyu gosong gube gone chatselo mosha yidru choba malubu tome nesa dikdun tamchesha kepa gewa namla jeira korwa maton pardo lekshune trola cheki korlo kor dashengenan chanchu chembor sa shi peke chushi meto tra rira lingshe nidegi Sangye shinto mikte uwaragi Drogu namda shingla chuparish Ye dam guru radna mandral Kam nilyata yami Tukara tinzin sembe takuruto Yige chupe ngagi korwaragi Om tare tu re soha 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 Om tare ture 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 Om tare ture soha 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 Om tare ture Om tare ture soha 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 Om Tare Tuttare Ture Soha. 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 Om Tare Om Tare Tuttare Ture Soha. 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 Ture Soha. Om Tare Tuttare 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 Ture Tuttare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Soha. Locho Sambo Pagyo Trashi Pa Tuche Tembe Trile Pegye Drolo Tambe Zebrach Pande Lame Shabla Solwad Omo A Guru Vajra Dara Sumati Munisha Saneka Ota Vardanya Shri Badra Varsa Manya Sarva Siddhi Hum Om Guru Vajra Dara Sumati Munisha Saneka Ota Vardanya Shri Badra Varsa Manya Sarva Siddhi Hum Om Guru Vajra Sumati Munisha Sanekar Ota Vardanya Shri Badra Varsa Manya Sarva Siddhi Hum Om Guru Vajra Dar Sumati Munisha Ota Vardanya Shri Varsamanya Sarva Siddhi Hum. Om Guru Vajradhar Sumati Munisha Sanekar Uta Vardanya Shri Bhadra Varsamanya Sarva Siddhi Hum. Om Guru Vajradhar Sumati Munisha Sanekar Uta Vardanya Shri Bhadra Varsamanya Sarva Siddhi Hum. Om Guru Vajradhar Sumati Munisha Sanekar Uta Vardanya Shri Bhadra Varsamanya Sarva Siddhi Om. Pakyukye Kudandagi Lo Pakyukye Sundandaki Pakyukye Tudandagi Yerme Chiktu Jingialo Pakyukye Kudan Dagilu Pakyukye Sun Dagina Pakyukye Tudan Dagi Yerme Chiktu Jingilo Makyukye Kudan Dagilu Makyukye Sundan Dagina Makyukye Tudan Dagi Yerme Chiktu Jingilo Alden Tsawe Lama Rinpoche Dagi Ningar Pede Tenshula Karin Chembo Gone Jesonte Kuson Togi Ngodro Tseduso Sangye Chedan Soge Chonam La Chancho Pardo Dani Kepsu Chin Dagi Jinso Gibe Sonamgi Drola Penchire Sangye Druparishu Sangye Chedan Soge Chancho Pardo Dani Kepsu Chin Dagi Chushe Gibe Sonamgi Trola Pinchra Sangye Druparesh Sangye Chodan Sogi Chonamla Chancho Pardo Dani Kepsuchi Dagi Chushe Gibe Sonamgi Trola Pinchra Sangye Druparesh. In the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, I take refuge until enlightenment. Through the practice of generosity and the other perfections, may I reach Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. So this morning we have concluded the part of the Guru Yoga, and as we did the Guru Yoga, this very important part of the practice, now we go to the next part of the practice, which is the part with the frontal generation. As we said before, in our spiritual path, we need very much to develop two types of energies, two types of attitudes, which is one, to accumulate positive energy, to accumulate merit, and the other to purify our negativities. When we talk about accumulating positive energy, accumulating merits, I always have some difficulty using these words, basically because the terms in English or in Portuguese or in Italian, in our Western languages, we don't have the right word, at least I have never found it, to translate the word in Tibetan, which is called sonam, or in Sanskrit, punya. And I remember very clearly 2 years ago we were in Borobudur together with Professor Lokesh Chandra, this great scholar of Buddhism, and he stated very clearly in one of his speeches that one of the difficulties of Buddhism in the West is that we lack many words to translate words from Tibetan and Sanskrit. But we lack the words mostly because in our culture we don't have the concepts. So words normally represents mental images, represents concepts. And if we don't have a concept, we will not find the word. So one of these words he was saying is the word merit. It's the word actually in Sanskrit punya, in Tibetan sonam. And it is at the same time a very, very important concept within the Buddhist practice. And trying to explain it in few words is basically the fact that it's not possible for us to experience any sort of result without having previously created the causes. Which means everything that we experience every day in our life, good things, bad things, happy moments, sicknesses, it doesn't matter. Okay? Everything that we experience actually is a result of some action that we have done at some point in our life. It doesn't matter if it's today or yesterday or 10 years ago or 10 lives ago. Everything that we experience today is the result of some causes that we have created in the past. So, if we want to experience sensation stages of bliss, of joy, of satisfaction, and so on, we cannot experience such stages without first creating the causes for it. Similar to that, in order for us to realize patience and love and compassion and wisdom, to have the realizations of our own path, it's not enough just to meditate on patience. It's not enough just to meditate on love and so on. It's very important, but it's not enough. We need to accumulate the merits. We need to accumulate the positive karma, the positive causes, the sonam, necessary in order to sustain such state of consciousness. Okay. Even if we look in the Bodhisattva Charyavatara, there is one whole chapter saying how to protect the mind of bodhicitta, how to keep it. And it's the whole part about accumulating merit and purifying the negativities. So, we need actually to accumulate merits. And there are basically one way, most important way of accumulating merits, which is by giving, which is by sharing. Okay? When we give something through an act of generosity, we can give materially, we can give love, which is having this emotional feeling of love towards others. We can give protection, giving protection, for example, let's say there is someone that doesn't have food. In the moment that we go and we give food to that person, it is a material generosity. If we do it with love, it's a generosity of giving love. And in the moment that we give food to a person and we protect the person from his hunger, automatically it becomes a generosity of giving protection. Okay? So when a person has some sort of suffering that is inevitable somehow, and we are able to protect the person or the sentient being from that suffering, this is a generosity of giving protection. And then there's the fourth type of generosity, which is the generosity of giving the dharma, of sharing the spiritual path with someone. Okay? So, whenever we give something to someone that has the same or lower level of spiritual development, it's called an act of generosity. Whenever we give something to someone that have a higher level of spiritual development than ours, it becomes an act of offering. Okay? So what we do here is that we invite what is called the merit field. The merit field is when we invite the holy beings, like we do in the Guru Puja and all the other practices, where we do this frontal generation. and in order to accumulate merits, in order to purify our negativity and to request for blessings. So, when we talk about the merit field, it is this example that is given really with the concept of the field, a place with a fertile land where we can plant something and gain good crops. Okay. So what we do, our merit field in this case is Guru Aryatara. Where we have Aryatara in front of us, we plant by making offerings, by requesting blessings, and so making prostrations. And what are the crops that we are harvesting? Our own merits. That's why it's called the merit field. Okay. So when you talk about merit field, it's not something that it's only the Guru Puja. Normally, always when we visualize something in front of us, like a date and so on, was making a joke before saying it's not that anything that we visualize in front of us become a merit field. If we visualize Mickey Mouse, that's not going to be a merit field. But otherwise, all the deities and practices that we do, that when we have the frontal generation, that's always a merit field. Also, when we visualize Guru Buddha Aryatara at our crown, that's also a merit field. Okay, so we do the visualization of the merit field in order for us to make offerings, to make praises, to make prostrations, to request the blessings, in order to accumulate merit, purify our negativities, and request for blessings. Okay? So what we will do now, I will just go through the text, which is actually very clear, and I will just add some things in between as we go through it. Okay? So, as we go through the frontal generation, we will start, I will read the text and I will add some things in between. It says, in the space in front of me is the Potala heaven. The Potala heaven is the pure land where Aryatara resides after having reached enlightenment. And the word heaven, sincerely, I don't think is the best translation, because it brings somehow already some ideas conceptually, or some preconcepts, let's say. Normally, the word in Tibetan is takshin. Tak means pure, shin means place, land. So what it means a pure land. Okay? So what is a pure land? A pure land is not a place that is pure because materially, physically pure place. A pure land is a place that is pure because most of the beings that are living there are pure. There are two types of pure lands. Pure lands that most of the beings living there are pure, and some other pure lands where all living beings there are actually pure, all Buddhas, basically. Okay. Normally, when we pray to be reborn in a pure land, it's better for us to pray to be reborn in a pure land where also impure beings can be. Otherwise, we have no possibility to access it. Okay? So, it's important because, even if we think only about this earth where we live, this planet where we are, based on nature, how things are, if it was not for the ignorance of sentient beings, would it be a pure land or not? Could it be heaven? Yes. Why it's not? Why we made from heaven, we made hell? In many parts of earth we can experience hell. Because of ignorance, because of hatred, because of selfishness, and so on. So, based on that, when we talk about the pure land, basically, it's a place where most of the beings that are there are pure. And, sometimes for me, it's even a bit, funny, like it makes me smile when I see the descriptions that are given to pure lands or to heavens and so on. They're very often what we do when we try to, we human beings, when we describe a pure land, we take things what we wanted to have here on earth and we don't have, and we put them somewhere else, no? So, it's beautiful with beautiful houses and the trees and the mountains and this and that. We put everything that we like somehow. I'm quite sure if we would remake the pure lands in the heaven nowadays, some people would add fast internet connection. And then if we have a pure land made by the Indians, it will have rice and dal in abundance. And if we have a pure land made by the Italians, it will be full of pasta and pizza or whatever, okay? So, actually, the pure land is not based on this way. It's like the feeling as a place of harmony. where all those that are living there are living with harmony, and the place itself is a nature of harmony. Okay. So Aryatara is living in what is called the Potala Pure Land, which is the place where Aryatara went to live, let's say, after reaching enlightenment. So we request Aryatara to come here from there. So we visualize in front of us this pure place, so-called the Potala, heaven, and in the center of it, and here it says, the highest pure land of the Aryas. Aryas are those that have eliminated completely ignorance and gone out of the cycle of samsara. These are called Aryas, which means the noble ones. On the other side, on the opposite side, we have those that still have ignorance and are called infantile beings. Okay. So, in the center of a crystal palace is Aryatara, a beautiful, smiling, and charming Vajra queen. She sits on a golden throne. The lotus, sun, and moon cushions symbolize her total experience of renunciation, bodhicitta, and absolute wisdom. So Aryatara is seated on a beautiful throne, and on the throne there is a lotus flower, a sun, and a moon cushion. Actually, the lotus flower symbolizes renunciation, which again is not the best word to translate. Actually, the word in Tibetan is called ngejung or ngeberjung. Ngeber means certain, jung means to emerge, to get out. Okay, so it will be definitive emergence, which means the certainty to get out of the cycle of samsara. In other words, it means to deeply believe in one's own potential to get out of samsara. So, it's also called love towards oneself, because it's the ability to abandon everything that generates harm to us and to accomplish and cultivate everything that is of benefit to us. So in this way, this is what we call, when it's used the word renunciation, it actually is used in the context in which we say to renounce suffering and the causes of suffering, to renounce samsara, because strangely somehow we are very attached to it. So it's to renounce anger and jealousy and envy and ignorance and selfishness and so on. So, the lotus flower represents definitive emergence, renunciation, because it is born from the mud, and when it gets out from mud, it blossoms completely purely. The very pure flower, which is born from a dirty place, okay, in the middle of the mud. So the mud represents samsara, and the lotus flower being born from it represents getting out of samsara in a pure state, being born in a pure state. So in this way, with a lotus flower, the fact that Aryatara is sitting on a lotus flower symbolizes that she have completely realized renunciation. She have completely realized the definitive emergence of love towards herself. On top of the lotus flower, there is a moon cushion and a sun cushion and a moon cushion. What they represent? The moon cushion, white in color, represents the male energy and represents bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is the mind of enlightenment, of great love and compassion towards all sentient beings. And the sun cushion represents wisdom of the correct view of reality, female energy. Some people sometimes may ask, why male energy is representing bodhicitta and love and compassion, and female energy representing wisdom? Shouldn't it be the opposite way? Basically, it's because when we talk about wisdom, we are not talking about intellectual understanding. We are talking about most deep realizations, which is like more of intuition type. Okay? And this is more female energy. And when we talk about compassion, it's not something very emotional and, I want everyone to be free from suffering, poor thing. It's not that. Compassion is in action. It means to act in order to help others to get out of suffering. Okay? So this is what we mean by compassion in this case, and that's what we mean by wisdom also. Okay? So compassion is more related to the male energy, and wisdom is more related to the female energy. This doesn't mean that men don't have wisdom and then women don't have compassion, not at all. Okay? But it's just the type of energy related to it. So Aryatara is seated on a lotus flower of a sun and a moon cushion, which represents that she has completely realized renunciation, which means definitive emergence, love towards herself, bodhicitta, love towards others, and the correct view of reality, wisdom. She has a youthful emerald green light body, which means her body is green in color like emerald and it's made of light. It's not made out of flesh, okay? It's not like flesh and bone body. Arising from pure wind energy, not flesh and bone, which means Aryatara is the pure manifestation of the wind element. When we talk, we have wind, fire, and so on. The wind element in its pure form is represented by Aryatara. Her right hand shows the open heart mudra of supreme generosity, while her left hand, at the level of her heart, is in the three jewels mudra. Okay. Both hands gracefully hold the stems of glorious blue and golden Utpala lotuses that enchase her with their beauty. So the two blue Utpala lotuses open at her sides and are coming from the two hands, the right hand in the mudra of supreme generosity, the left hand in the mudra of the three jewels, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha at her heart. Okay. Her left leg is drawn in and her right leg is extended in the Ngalso relaxation posture. This means that Aryatara is not seated with the complete crossed legs. The right leg is stretched at the front. And this means that she's ready to stand up at any moment, which means it's showing her compassion in action. Okay, this very specific aspect of Aryatara, which means the holy action, the pure action. She wears the finest silk clothes of a queen to show her ability to conquer the world. We are not talking about here about. Oh, sorry, one part. Her naked breasts are full, showing her power to generate bliss and emptiness. This is in different representations. Normally, all the female deities, they have naked breasts. And this is showing actually the state of great bliss, this profound joy that they are experiencing and that they can transmit also, they can give to others. This here when it's talking about conquering the world, she dresses the clothes that normally queens would dress in India, showing her ability to conquer the world. Actually, she's a conqueror in the sense that she conquered completely her own mental defilements, but she's also a conqueror in the sense that she is superior to all other normal common forms of beings, and that she has the ability to touch and to reach every sentient being. She has no boundaries in this sense. She wears a precious crown showing her transformation of negative emotions into the wisdom of the five supreme mothers. She wears actually, there is a crown that is represented or by 5 jewels or by 5 lotuses. Some depends the way how it's represented, which actually is showing that she has realized the 5 wisdoms of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas or the 5 great mothers, which means having transformed completely her 5 aggregates and developed her qualities to their maximum potential. She is adorned with 6 special types of jewelry, symbolizing her perfection of the 6 bodhisattva trainings. She has 6 types of jewels, as we can see, like the earrings, the necklace, the bracelets, and how to call it, the foot, the anklets, and so on, which are 6 types of jewels which are representing, she's adorned actually by her qualities such as generosity, morality, patience, joyful effort, concentration, and wisdom. Okay, so this is what the jewels represent. This is very often when we see representations of all not in a monastic form, they all have always these types of jewels, which is representing the 6 perfections. Her skin is soft and smooth. Her eyes are large, almond-shaped, and intensively black, with a beautiful eyelashes. Between her eyes is a small hair tuft curling to the right, showing that among women she is without equal. Her lips and tongue are red like a berry, and she has very white and perfect teeth. Her hair is black and fragrantly scented. Her body is perfumed like a fragrant lotus and radiates healing energy. She has the 32 major and minor marks of a perfect woman. A perfect woman, a Buddha has 32, the major and the minor marks of a Buddha. So this is what it's talking about. Perfect in every way, she grants bliss to all who see her, and her touch heals on many levels. She has a halo of auric rainbow of her pure elemental energies that fascinate the eyes like the refracted lights from a crystal. She is surrounded by a retinue of 21 Taras, who embody all the qualities of a perfect woman. Tara guides her devotees through the Lamrim, the gradual path to enlightenment, and the 4 classes of Tantra. She grants joy to all those who see her and touch her, heals on every level. So, one of the meanings of doing such detailed visualization is that we need to train our mind on concentration. In the moment we have a good level of concentration, then after we will need this very much in the completion stage and many other parts of the practice. But normally our mind is always running up and down with many different objects. So here we make our mind busy by making very detailed visualization. Okay? So the visualization we do is called the concentration being, and to do it in such detailed way is exactly to train our mind to concentrate in the correct manner. After that, we invite Arya Tara from the Pure Land to come, the wisdom being to come, and to become inseparable with the concentration being that is with the commitment being that is the visualization that we have in front of us. So this is when we do the prayer, Potalai Nechene, which says in English, from your pure land of Potala, one born from a green letter tam, green syllable tam, your head adorned with Amitabha, action mother of the 3 times Buddhas, Tara, please come here with your retinue. So we invite Arya Tara with all the emanations of Tara, the 21 Taras, to come here. So we imagine that Arya Tara comes from the pure land of the Potala and absorbs into our own visualization, making our visualization not a common visualization, but the actual wisdom being that is there. Arya Tara is there with us. Okay? Some people sometimes ask me, but what do you mean by visualization? No? Because sometimes people say it's difficult to visualize and so on. Sometimes I have difficulty to imagine, to see something in front of us. I myself am not very capable in actually visualizing and seeing things in this way. But when we talk about visualization, it's more like imagining. Okay? So we imagine, in this case, Arya Tara with all its characteristics and qualities. And it's also a matter of being of habit, of really doing it many times. The more we do, the easier it becomes. That's why we also learn to paint Arya Tara in order to help for the visualization. We look at the image more again and again. This will also help us. If we learn how to draw it and paint it, this will help us a lot to visualize it later. One time a friend gave me an example of visualization, which for me was very clear, which is the example saying, can you visualize a pizza? I think most of us, yes. Okay, so we can visualize the size of the pizza, and we can visualize the mozzarella cheese, and then there is the tomato, and then we can visualize the smell of the pizza and the temperature coming from it and the texture of the pizza, and we can even go through the smell and the taste and so on. Actually, even we can imagine the sound of the pizza when we cut it. Okay, so what happens is that when we talk about visualization, it's not a matter only of seeing something, it's imagining it's really there. So let's say we imagine a person that we love very much in front of us. We develop some feeling. It's not just a matter of the image of the person, okay? Similar to that, when we visualize Arya Tara, we should imagine that Arya Tara is there and she's full of love and wisdom and healing power. We feel her energy. We feel the benefit of being on her presence. Okay? It's important that visualization is not, all the 5 senses are included in the visualization. It's not a matter only of seeing an image in front of us. So we visualize it fully. We try to bring ourselves with all our 5 senses into it. It's somehow like daydreaming. We go there with all our senses. Okay? So, Once we have concluded the part of visualizing Aryatara in front of us, we go to the part of actually making praises and offerings, and we do this here to the praise gods and titans. Gods and titans with their crowns bow down to your lotus feet, liberator from all problems. Mother Tara, I pay homage to you. So here, and after that we go through the 21 Taras, and as we do these prayers of the 21 Taras and we do homage, we visualize that we make offerings to the Taras, and as each verse that we recite, we visualize that an emanation of Aryatara comes and dissolves into us, bringing us their blessings and fulfilling their holy actions. So we imagine that one by one, okay? Without going into detail now about the 21 Taras. Once we have finished this, we go to page number 46, where we have actually the recitation of the mantra. The recitation of the mantra, we do it at the heart of Aryatara in front of us. So we have the concentration being and the wisdom being, which is inseparable in front of us. And at the heart of Aryatara is the syllable tam, which is also called, we have the commitment being inseparable of the wisdom being, Aryatara in front of us. And then we have the syllable tam, which is the concentration being. Around the syllable tam goes the mantra Om Tare Ture Soha, turning clockwise. From the mantra Om Tare Ture Soha and the syllable tam at the heart of Aryatara, in front of us, light emanates in the 10 directions, eliminating the suffering of every sentient being. Especially, it absorbs into our crown and our heart, or our crown or our heart, what we feel more comfortable. And it fills completely our body with this green emerald light. And the light comes with the sound of Om Tare Ture Soha. It has this vibration of the sound Om Tare Ture Soha. And as we receive this light, it purifies completely our negativities, our sicknesses. It revitalizes our qualities. It guides us on the path to enlightenment. And the meaning of the mantra, Om Tare Ture Soha, as we have it written here, Om symbolizes body, speech, and mind, or it also symbolizes the three bodies, which means the Dharmakaya, the Sambhogakaya, and the Nirmanakaya, which in very few words, the Dharmakaya is the very subtle mind of a Buddha, the Sambhogakaya is the subtle body of a Buddha, the Nirmanakaya is the gross body of a Buddha. So we all have a gross body, we have a subtle body, we have a very subtle body and mind. So this, in its pure state, is what we call the Nirmanakaya, Sambhogakaya, and Dharmakaya, okay, making it simple. Then, so the Om, actually, the syllable Om is made by 3 letters, by 3 sounds. We have the A, together with the U, that makes the sound of O. And then the O together with the Ma makes the sound of Om. So we have A, U, Ma, that together makes Om. Okay. So even when we write it, we have the A, then we have the O, and then the Ma, which is like the little dot, like a 0 on top. Okay. And we can see actually in this, this card with the mantra of Tara, and behind it is the written the mantra in Tibetan. And we can see the first letter, it has 3 parts. The first part below is the A, then there is this thing that looks like a wing, is the O, and then this little 0 on top is the Ma. Okay? So this is symbolizing body, speech, and mind, symbolizing the 3 bodies of a Buddha also. Then we have Tare Ture Swaha. As we have it, the text says here, Tare means liberator or savior. Tutare means liberation from each suffering by following the pratimoksha, personal liberation. Ture means swift, fast, and able to practice, for example, the Mahayana and the Vajrayana. So there are different ways of interpreting and reading the meaning of the mantra of Tara. One way is when we say Om, body, speech, and mind. Tare, it refers to the liberator, Tara herself. Tuttare, that liberates from all sufferings. So here it means the by guiding us on the path of the pratimoksha, by guiding us on the path of personal liberation. So it doesn't mean, Tara, you liberate me, taking out all my suffering. No. How is Tara liberating us? By guiding us through the path to enlightenment. What's the path to enlightenment? It's the path of the pratimoksha, which is the path of love towards ourselves, of abandoning all that is harmful, of accomplishing all that is positive for ourselves. And then there is Tura, which means swift, fast, which means it's representing here the path of the Mahayana and the Vajrayana. Okay. Another way of reading the mantra is that we say Om. Tare means to liberate, and this means the Hinayana path, the path of the Pratimoksha, the path of love towards ourselves. Tutare means to liberate from suffering, so eradicate means liberating all sentient beings from suffering, generating love and compassion, bodhicitta. Ture means fast, it means generating through the path of Vajrayana, to quickly attain enlightenment through the path of transformation. Okay? So the point is that Swaha means so may it be. There are many translations for Soha actually. And in this way, the mantra of Tara actually, it combines within it the whole path to enlightenment. It means like to liberate ourselves from suffering by generating love towards ourselves, love towards others, correct view of reality, and the path of transformation of Tantra. All of this is combined within the mantra of Tara. Okay? So when we say, oh, Tara the liberator, Tara cannot liberate us by taking us out of suffering. She can only liberate us by guiding us, by blessing us and guiding us through the path to enlightenment. Okay? So, once we arrive at this point of the practice, we visualize Tara in front of us, we do the mantra, light and nectar is coming, purifying our negativities, the negativities of other sentient beings. And then here we go on and we have some other mantra recitations that are putting emphasis on different aspects. We could only do the mantra from Tara to Tara to Soha, or we could go on and also do the specific mantras, which means related to earth, water, fire, wind, space, and then the mantras to attain realizations dedicated for peace, to purify the negativities, mantra of increasing positive energy, of attaining long life, of the mantra to grant power and to eliminate obstacles. And then we have the purification, elimination of the 8 fears. Okay? So these mantras that we have, we will recite them now together. They are basically dedicated for the 5 elements and then to specific aspects such as peace and attainments of realizations, negativities, elimination of negativities, incrementing positive energy, long life, power of positive influence, and elimination of obstacles. And as we recite these mantras, we can also use them for specific reasons. Let's say we are in a moment that the earth element is unstable. We can do more of the mantra related to earth. In a moment that we have the wind element that is unstable, like we have too much anxiety or insomnia and so on, then we can do more of the wind element mantra. Or sickness, then we do the mantra of long life. And like this we can go on according to the specific needs that we have. Okay? So I would say, before we go to the explanation of the 8 fears, we can do this part of the practice together. Okay? So now we will do the 21 taras, we will do them later. So you can also see how it's possible to do the practice in different ways. And then we will jump from page 34 to page 46. Okay? In the space in front of us appears a beautiful lotus flower with a sun and a moon cushion, above which is seated Aryatara, the liberator, the mother of all Buddhas. Aryatara, with a beautiful female body, green in color like emerald, is seated with her right leg stretched, the left leg bent, with the right hand in the mudra of supreme generosity, the left hand in the mudra of the true jewels. Aryatara smiles at us. She holds on her 2 hands a beautiful blue lotus. She is adorned with different jewels and ornaments, symbolizing her inner qualities, like the 6 perfections. She has a crown ornament with 5 jewels, representing her realizations of the 5 wisdoms of the 5 great mothers and the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. At the heart of Aryatara is a lotus flower with a sun and a moon cushion, above which is the 6-syllable tam, green in color, around which is the mantra Om Tare Tuttare Ture Soha. From the tam, light emanates in all directions, like a rainbow with multicolored lights, filling the whole universe. This is the auric body of Tara that expands through the whole universe. From the pure land of Potala, we invite Aryatara to come here, the wisdom being, to become inseparable with the commitment being of our own visualization. Aryatara accepts the requests and come to this very right place, absorbing in the visualization of Aryatara in front of us. Aryatara is full of love and compassion and wisdom. We feel loved, we feel protected, we feel secure. We feel that we are ready to be guided correctly on the path to enlightenment. Potalaye necho ne tamye changu letrun shin Öpa megi ulagen tusun sange trinlema drolma korche shekso so hadal hami chöpengi shabgi pemo latute pomba kunle dronzema droma yumla chatselo. Pagina 45, page 45. Korvale droltarema tutarai jigedrol Turenawanam ledrol drol mayum lacha seloyo korvale tarema Tutarai jigedrol Turenawanam ledrol drol mayum lacha seloyo korvale drotarema tutarai jigedro Turenawanam ledrol drol mayum lacha selo. Om tare ture soha 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 Om Tare Tuttare Ture Svoha. 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 Om Tare Tuttare. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Svoha. Om Tare Tuttare Ture. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Svoha. 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 Tare tuttare ture svo. Om tare tuttare ture som 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 tare tuttare. Om tare tuttare ture som tare tuttare som tare tuttare som tare tuttare som tare. Om tare tuttare ture som tare tuttare ture som tare tuttare. Om tare tuttare ture som tare tuttare ture som tare tuttare ture. Om tare tuttare ture som tare tuttare ture som tare tuttare ture. Om tare tuttare ture som tare tuttare ture som tare tuttare. So omo tare tuttare ture soha. Omo tare tuttare ture mama sarva lam lan swala bai shanti kuru yesoha. Om tare ture mama sarva lam lam swala baya shanti kur. Om tare ture mama sarva lam lam swala baya shanti kuru yesvoha. Om tare ture mama sarva bam bam swala baya shanti kuru yesvoha. Om tare ture mama sarva bam bam swala baya shanti kuru yesvoha. Om tare ture mama sarva bam bam swala baya shanti kuru. Om tare ture mama sarva ram ram swala baya shanti kuru yesoha. Om tare ture mama sarva ram ram swala baya shanti kuru yesoha. Om tare ture mama sarva ram ram swala baya shanti kuru yesvoha. Om tare ture mama sarva yam yam swala baya shanti kuru yesvoha. Om tare ture sarva yam yam swala baya shanti kuru yesvoha. Om tare ture mama sarva yam yam swala baya shanti kuru yesvoha. Om tare ture mama sarva swala baya shanti kuru yesvoha. Om tare ture mama sarva swala baya shanti kuru yesvoha. Om tare ture mama sarva swala baya shanti kuru. Om tare ture sarva siddhi soha. Om tare ture sarva siddhi soha. Om tare ture sarva siddhi soha. Om tare ture shanti siddhi soha. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Siddhi Swaha. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Shanti Siddhi Swaha. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Sarva Papam Shanti Kuru Yesoha. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Sarva Papam Shanti Kuru Yesoha. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Sarva Papam Shanti Kuru Yesoha. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Punya Shanti Soha. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Punya Siddhi Soha. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Punya Siddhi Soha. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Ayur Siddhi Soha. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Ayur Siddhi Soha. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Ayur Siddhi Swaha. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Vashanguru Ho. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Vashanguru Ho. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Vashanguru Ho. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Shatru Maraya Hum Pe. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Shatru Maraya Hum Pe. Om Tare Tuttare Shatru Maraya Hum Pe. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Marikpa Shanti Kuru Yesoha. We ask Aryatara to bless us in order to purify our ignorance. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Marikpa Shanti Kuru Yesoha. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Marikpa Shanti Kuru Yesoha. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Marikpa Shanti Kuru Yesoha. We ask Aryatara to pacify the demons of our doubts. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Tetsom Shanti Kuru Yesoha. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Tetsom Shanti Kuru Yesoha. Om Tare Tuttare Tetsom Shanti Kuru Yesoha. We ask Aryatara to pacify the robbers, the thieves that represents our own wrong views, the wrong views that steal from us the opportunities to accumulate merits and to practice virtue. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Tawa Lokta Shanti Kuru Yesoha. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Tawa Lokta Shanti Kuru Yesoha. Om Tare Tuttare Tawa Lokta Shanti Kuru Yesoha. We ask Aryatara to bless us in order to pacify the ocean of our unlimited attachment and unlimited desire. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Döcha Shanti Kuru Yesoha. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Döcha Shanti Kuru Yesoha. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Döcha Shanti Kuru Yesoha. We ask Aryatara to bless us in order to pacify the flames of fire of our anger, hatred, and aversion. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Shedan Shanti Kuru Yesoha. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Shedan Shanti Kuru Yesoha. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Shedan Shanti Kuru Yesoha. We request the blessings of Aryatara to bless us, to purify the wild lion of our arrogance. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Ngagyal Shanti Kuru Yesoha. Om Tare Tuttare Ture Ngagyal Shanti Kuru Yesoha. Om tare ture ngagyal shanti kuru yeswoha. We ask the blessings of Aryatara to purify and pacify the prison of our miserliness. Om tare ture serna shanti kuru yeswoha. Om tare ture serna shanti kuru yeswoha. Om tare ture serna shanti kuru yeswoha. We ask the blessings of Aryatara to pacify the snake of jealousy and envy. Om tare ture trato shanti kuru yesoha. Om tare ture trato shanti kuru yesoha. Om tare ture trato shanti kuru yesoha. After making requests, light and nectar emanates from the left hand of Aryatara in the mudra of the three jewels, from the ring finger of Aryatara. A flow of white nectar and light comes towards our crown, enters through our head, and fills completely our body. Our whole body is filled with this pure white nectar. All our negativities are purified, all our sicknesses, mental defilements, disturbing emotions, negative karma, they are all purified as they go out of our body in the form of dirt and smoke that dissolves into space. Our body becomes completely full of light and nectar, free of any type of negativity. Our body, our mind is completely pure as we experience great bliss and infinite space. Our body is like a pure crystal body. Il nostro corpo è come un corpo di puro cristallo. Om Padma Sattva Samaya Manupalaya Padma Sattva Tenopa Tishta Dridro Me Bhava Suto Kayo Me Bhava Supo Kayo Me Bhava Anurakto Me Bhava Sarva Siddhi Me Prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsa Me Citam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 ho Bhagavan Padma Mame Munsan Padma Bhava Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Body, speech and mind of all the Buddhas, with a pure lotus nature. Fulfill your commitment to take care of me. Padma Sattva, pure lotus being, be near to me. Be my stable nature. Be pleased with my nature. Be very pleased with my nature. Be extremely pleased with my nature. Grant me all the attainments. Grant me all the siddhis. Give me mental power and the wisdom of the 5 supreme healers. Lord, endowed transcendent destroyers, I am indestructible pure lotus too, so do not give up on me. I have the lotus nature of the great commitment being, the union of great bliss and emptiness. Om Padma Sattva Samaya Manu Palaya Padma Sattva Tenopa Tishta Didro Me Bhava Suto Kayo Me Bhava Supo Kayo Me Bhava Anurakto Me Bhava Sarva Siddhi Me Prayatsam Sarva Karma Sutsa Me Citam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Padma Mame Munsa Padma Bhava Maha Samaya Sattva Ahom Pe. The 21 Taras absorb into Aryatara in front of us. The wisdom being returns to the pure land of Potala, and the commitment being inseparable of the wisdom being absorbed into us through our crown, joyfully sitting at our heart at a lotus flower with a moon and a sun cushion. Jetsu lame kutse rapten chi namkar chinle chochur gepadam losan tempedra sasongi drove munse tato ne gyurchi nimo dele tsendele nime kuyan dele kshin Niente taktu delekpe, concho sumki jingilo, concho sumki ngodrup sol, concho sumki trashisho. At dawn or dusk, at night or midday, may the three jewels grant us their blessings. May they help us to achieve all realizations and sprinkle the path of our lives with various signs of auspicion. So when we finish this part of the practice, for example, now we have a break, so we have concluded with the absorption. If after this you continue, for example, with the self-generation or you continue with the practice, then you keep the visualization in front. You are not absorbing it. But when you finish to do the dedications, then you do also the absorption. Okay? So now we do a break of half an hour, maximum 40 minutes, and then we come back for the Tzor offering. Grazie a tutti.